So, you guys hear Trump's running again?
And I'm feeling good.
That smile, dude.
Dude.
I'm feeling good.
So well done. What's going on, everybody? We're the Vimata brothers. I'm Satirius, and this is DayDreamer. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. It's been one heck of a year, hasn't it?
Oh, yeah.
And a lot has happened, and many more things to be thankful for, actually.
Yep. Satirius and I still have our jobs.
Yes, sir.
We got our brotherhoods.
Of course.
We got the team. That's our other group of friends.
You guys haven't met them yet.
Snowboard season is coming up this
Heck
time.
yes, dude.
Next
We're
week,
excited.
we'll be snowboarding.
Next week, or this week, or in 2 days.
Well, yeah, because we're posting this video on Monday, so technically on Wednesday we'll be snowboarding, but
On Wednesday.
we're filming this.
Don't text us that day. We're going to be busy snowboarding. And of course, we have family that we love.
Oh yeah, our
despite
family.
differences.
Oh yeah, our family too.
yes, of course, right? Got to be thankful for our family. Love each and every single one of them.
Yes, sir. But there are people out there that are willing to completely skipping around family because of the election outcome. Have you seen this? Yes, you have, because we wrote the whole script together. There's Yale psychiatrist from MSNBC urges viewers to shun Trump voting family members.
Oh boy, let's check this out.
When you know someone voted that way, do you recommend, just from a psychological standpoint, being around them? We got the holidays coming up.
So I love that you asked this question because, you know, there is a push, I think just a societal norm that if somebody is your family, that they are entitled to your time. And I think the answer is absolutely not.
See, on that, I agree.
So if you
sure.
are going into a situation where you have family members, where you have close friends who you know have voted in ways that are against you, like what you said, against your livelihood, and it's completely fine to not be around those people and to tell them why.
And that's the part I disagree with.
Exactly.
So I understand her point where it's just because they're family does not mean that they're entitled to anything from you. Actually, here's my philosophy on this. Family deserves or has earned more chances depending on how much, like if your mother was really involved in your life and your dad too, and it's obvious that they cared for you, I think they're more deserving of second chances, and you put up with more than anybody else. You put up with more from your family that actually know that they care and love for you. However, it's up until a point. After a point, it's if they've really wronged you, it's okay in my opinion to you know what, I'm gonna remove myself from this person because they're not good for my life. Voting does not fall into that category. They did not vote. Like, you make it so personal, like they voted against you. That phrase, like she voted that other family person voted against you. Like that's not what this is.
It's not. And my whole take on the entitlement of time, in general, people are not entitled to your time, although I do hold a higher responsibility to family. But I'm fortunate enough to grow up in a family where I would give my time to my family any day. You're also included in that, and some of my really closest friends I call family, and that's kind of where my philosophy is at. Is it entitlement? No, at this point, I've held it more as a responsibility, and that's kind of something that's more so my philosophy, right? But I agree. People are not entitled to your time.
That's how I see it as well. Like if you for some reason wronged me, I would give you a second chance. I'd give you a third chance. I'd give you 5, 6, 7 chances. I'd give you a lot of chances, I think. There would be a point though where I would say, okay, this was too much. But I would give you more chances than I would give anybody else. Anybody else in my life, I give them one chance. If they wrong me, that's it. Like there's a line drawn, not necessarily cut off, but I'm just distancing myself a little bit. I understand who you are now. You've wronged me. I'm not going to cut you off. I'm not going to do anything I'm not going to talk bad about you or anything like that.
Right.
But I'm just going to remove myself a little bit from you.
Right.
Right.
But that's not even the biggest part of this argument, right?
No, it's not.
That's a small thing. The issue is that she's calling, because now that's a separate thing, and I don't think that argument holds up to what she's actually trying to say. The way you vote should not change the way you react with your family, unless there is someone in your family being an absolute jerk based upon their political beliefs. Right?
Yes.
And they're all up in your face. And then only then do I agree that you should probably distance yourself from that individual.
But that comes down to that individual's character,
right?
Not who they voted for. Because if the person is just annoying and likes to fight and needs to convince you of his way of thinking every single time he brings up politics, he wants to, him or her needs to convince you, and they don't let it go. sure, that person maybe distance yourself a little bit, or maybe
Right.
you know, I don't know, be firm with them, be stern with them when you're talking to them. But again, that comes down to the individual's character, not their actual voting beliefs. That has nothing to do with it.
The thing is that you're really making this about yourself. People didn't vote the way that they voted because they wanted to single you out and they hated you specifically, right?
Yeah.
They voted. I would like to believe, and I would argue that majority of the people who voted, especially the way they did this year, was more so for the moral beliefs, their values, and what they wanted their world to be these next 4 years and beyond, right? Most people who voted right aren't thinking, oh, the Blues voted because they hated me specifically in particular, and they wanted to see me fail.
Exactly.
Right?
But that's the belief that they're pushing. Like when Biden won in 2020, I don't think Republicans were like, oh yeah, all these Democrats voted against me. Like, no, they voted against the policies, and they didn't like the way the country was going, so that's why they voted for him. And that's
they just voted against the opposing candidate, right? They just didn't like the other candidate, which is fair in and of itself.
I equate this to the whole whatchamacallit? The road rage incident. When somebody road rages, we have a friend who road rages pretty bad. Shout out to you.
Love you, man.
But I always say, like, they're not cutting you off because they specifically singled you out and said, hey, I want to cut this person off and ruin their day. No, they're trying to get somewhere. That's why they cut you off. But you make it so personal about yourself and like, oh my God, this guy cut me off. It's like, no, dude, this guy's trying to get somewhere. And that's what you need to do. And it's the same thing. But
also, that's not a pass for people who are being jerks while driving.
Sure.
But yes, there is an argument to be made that they're not aiming at you particularly.
Exactly. So that's why I don't get mad when somebody cuts me off. I'm just like, okay, like, yeah, this guy's probably trying to get somewhere. And so that's the same thing with voting. Where no, this guy didn't vote against you. He's just voting based off what he believes and what he wants the country to be like. Now let's look at The View.
Well, I think the people from The View also agree. Well, not the people. I think it was Sunny agreed with this idea.
Right.
I'm not surprised.
Yale psychiatrist Dr. Amanda Calhoun suggested to Joy Reid that some people should sit this one out. Take a look.
There is a push.
And she just goes to what the psychologist says. We were already seeing this.
Oh, so what do you think?
I think everybody needs to do what's right for them. You know, I think you need to look into yourself, and if going to a family gathering or with friends where it's going to stress you out, then don't go. I'll tell you, my husband has 5 children. Most of them or their spouses voted for Trump. The problem is those 5 children have 13 grandchildren he refuses not to see and not to be part of their lives.
Yeah,
and so
good man.
For our family, I mean, he has told them, I will not let politics split up our family. Alan and I voted for Kamala, others didn't. He is going to see his grandchildren come hell or high water. That's the choice that works for him.
I'm all for healthy boundaries, but I tend to think mashed potatoes are the great equalizer. Like, you don't want to spend Thanksgiving by yourself because you can't set politics aside. Like, I find that every day in every job I've worked in social circles I've run in, I've been around people who have different politics than me, and it's never gotten in the way of having friendships with them.
I wouldn't have
It simply hasn't. I wouldn't have had any friends.
I wouldn't have had any holidays if I had to only pick the ones where everyone agreed with me. And so now there are times,
and I wouldn't be with you.
I check in with myself and say, am I up for this? Because I also know struggling with mental health, there are times I'm not, and that's okay. You step away, but it will never be the defining point, because toxic personalities don't have political affiliations. It's a personality trait that sucks, and we all are related to people like that. So whatever your reason is, I would never let my politics be the reason I don't show up to see my family, because they won't always be there.
I'm going to disagree. I completely understand her point, because I really do feel that this candidate, President-elect Trump, is just a different type of candidate. From the things he's said and the things he's done and the things he will do, it's more of a moral issue for me. And I think it's more of a moral issue for other people. We're just, I would say it was different when, let's say, Bush got elected. You know, you may not have agreed with his policies, but you didn't feel like he was a deeply flawed person, deeply flawed by character, deeply flawed
called him pretty bad things too.
A lot of Dems called him deeply flawed and demonized him.
But you got to admit, they're
She
very
says deeply
different figures.
flawed, but she didn't see that within her own party, like not even a little bit.
She also uses that like as a catch-all phrase. If you ask her to describe what that means, I don't know if she's
probably going to use deeply
well.
flawed to define deeply flawed.
You know, you along with Millie and along with John Kelly warned us about how deeply flawed he was as a candidate. And so I think when people feel that someone voted not only against their families, but against them and against people that they loved, I think it's okay to take a beat.
See, that's the thing we're saying earlier too. Like you feel like it's you're making it all about yourself.
Right.
Oh, they voted against me. They hate me.
The difference is that she tried to bring in other people who are like, don't involve me in this. I'm sure, like with the whole my family, and like they probably don't even care, and they were really hoping to see Uncle Sal this Thanksgiving, and now Mom's just being mean.
Children, would you, if it meant not seeing your
I
children?
appreciate the voters, but I will say, somebody who tells me that my child is wrong because of how he or she feels, that tells me that they shouldn't be allowed to be who they are with my permission, I have to question it. I don't want to.
Again, that's a personality thing. Yes, if somebody is telling you that has nothing to do with who they voted for.
Right.
Put my kid in that position.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I don't want to put my gay child in a position where she has to sit with someone who doesn't understand her and feels like it's okay to just blurt all that out. That's just me. But I feel like that with mixed families, I feel the same way.
Yeah.
You know, there are certain things where you don't have to put your family in the middle of it. You can have dinner at another point, but it might not be the time to gather because you know there's going to be some tension. That's what I'm saying. But I'm not tense. My daughter's not gay. I just want to say that.
Yeah, she's offended on behalf of others. That's so annoying. Anyways, she's pretty much saying the same thing. Where if it's a toxic person, I don't want to be around them. Agreed. But that does not, who you voted for does not inherently make you a toxic person.
Right.
You know?
Exactly. Well, I mean, Sunny would argue differently, but
Yeah.
that is not the case. It's especially since, like, I'm sure you and I are very much like this. Like some of our friends were uncertain where they lean, right? The thing is, we know when to push the boundaries and when not, and it really depends on the environment that you're in. In my family setting, I know where we all lean. We can all talk comfortably about things like that, right?
But it comes down to our personality. If me and you are in a room and we're talking with one of your family members, I don't know who, but let's say one of them, and the conversation starts to get really heated. I think me and you both, we're probably just going to say, all right, it's getting a little bit much. We're going to stop talking about this.
Exactly.
You know,
exactly
and that's what and then we'd go our separate ways and we'd be fine. That's what you're supposed to do.
Exactly.
But you can also tell, because there's sometimes when you're with family and the environment's right and you can feel it and people want to have the discussion because it's a fun topic to talk about.
Right.
You know?
Right.
It's a little intellectual battle, and then you get into all these like it's fun. It's fun to talk about it.
Right.
As long as everybody's mature and can handle it and understands that I am not, my policies aren't against you. It's against the issue, and we're just disagreeing on how to handle and solve this issue.
Exactly.
That's the only disagreement we're having. But
and those types of disagreements generally lead to solutions and better thoughts and different solutions and better discussions. You got to have those, obviously not during a Thanksgiving dinner. If it comes up and your family's able to do it, that's fine. More power to you guys. If not, just don't talk about it. It's simple as that. Yeah.
But it seems more like an after Thanksgiving dinner to have the conversation. When everybody's like on the couch and we're all chilling and we're just like, so
too much pie.
Trump won, huh? And then you're just, and then you get into it. It's fine. But it's because, okay, this is what I think the big issue that they have too is it's the starting points. When we started this discussion, because again, Soterius is a Republican. I used to be a Democrat. We differ on certain issues. When we start talking and debating, we start from the idea of we're both against, or we're both trying to solve this problem, and we assume that we're both equally good people. We have different ideas on how to solve an issue. The problem with people like Sunny and Whoopi is that they start from this idea of I am a better person than you because I think like this, and you are a worse person than me because you think like that. That's not going to solve anything.
No, I feel like this is what Sunny imagines is going to happen.
Breeze drifting on by. You know how I feel.
So classy.
Yeah.
It's a new dawn. It's a new day. It's a new life.
Just a suitcase
for me.
The blue-haired lib.
So, you guys hear Trump's running again?
And I'm feeling good.
That smile, dude.
Dude.
I'm feeling good.
So well done.
It's beautiful, dude.
Fish in the sea.
Where the heck come from?
You know how I feel.
I'm not gonna lie, that's such a scary face, dude.
If
good.
your political conversations look anything like that, you have more problems going on in your life.
Yeah, it's probably true. Side note, great work, Michael Knowles.
Yeah, that was hilarious. That's a great video.
That deserves an Oscar.
Anyways, stop making everything about you and taking everything so personally. It's not about you. Nobody hates you. You're fine. I'm talking to the people who do that, by the way, not our lovely viewers, of course. Our lovely viewers are fine.
We love you guys and gals, all
Yeah.
20 of you.
Yeah.
Honestly, if you can't handle it, if you can't handle politics, then just don't talk about it.
Yep.
Easy, done. You're gonna have a great turkey day. You're gonna get stuffed, get food wasted. Call it. That's
Yes.
it. Anywho's, let us know what you guys think. Do you guys talk about politics at the dinner table? Let us know in the comments down below.
Who
See you
did
guys
you
in the
vote
next.
for? Okay, bye.
Bye. Who did you vote for?